kyo nam myoho renge kyo. Hello everyone. There's a bit of a breeze here. There's a storm on its way. It's beautiful out here. You can hear some birds in the background, but it's quieter than usual, as all the animals know of storms are coming. But I just wanted to touch on something that's come up a few times lately. Just a real simple thing that all of us from youth generally start thinking about in some way, and is, what is happiness? Why, and more to the point, why am I not? Right? How many times have you asked yourself, or in some way asked yourself, why am I not happy? And how in the heck do I get there? It sounds really simple, but I don't have to explain to you how complicated it can be sometimes. Shakyamuni Buddha thought about that a lot. And in a very real way, his entire methodology of Buddhism, the scholarship of Buddhism, the reason Buddhism even exists, is to answer that question. And let me tell you right off the bat, it does exist. It's already there. All you have to do is get all the other crud out of the way. And that, in a nutshell, my friends, is Buddhism. Buddha thought of it like this. Shakyamuni Buddha. Is that fundamentally we are all Buddha, because Buddha is a state of happiness. Buddha is a state of, let me say it this way, nothing other than happiness. And it's important to understand what that means, because the reason we seek happiness is because we experience a lot of other stuff that isn't happy. So what do you call all of that other stuff? The Sanskrit word was dukkha. And usually in the West we translate that to mean suffering. But sometimes suffering isn't a real good way to describe the angst that we feel, or the discontent, or oh, here's a good one, disappointment. Is that suffering? Well, in this context, yes, but we wouldn't think of it as suffering. We tend to think of suffering as physical or emotional traumas, or that kind of thing. So when I use that word, I tend to put an S at the end of it, call it sufferings, just to imply that there's a lot of ways that we get distracted from our happiness. And so Shakyamuni realized that the very fact that we live life, that we from moment to moment experience stuff, the physical reality of being, is in itself kind of a setup for disappointment, right? I mean, I don't know how much I have to explain that to everyone. We all will come to it in a different way, but everything we do is a measure of happy or unhappy. How well did you sleep last night? Did you have good sleep? Do you have a good relationship, or a so-so relationship, or a bad relationship? And why is it bad? It's all gradations of how much we're enjoying it, right? Our quote-unquote happiness. So I just want to encourage you, I want you to know that no matter how crappy your day is going, or how much you're struggling to just feel okay, that happiness is there for you. The frustrating thing, if I were to frustrate you, would be that what Buddhism teaches us is that our complete joy and happiness of just being, it's already there. You know this. You may not say it that way, but you already know. And this is what gives you the angst of, why am I not happy? Why am I being unhappy? Because you know that fundamentally, just looking around, happiness is real. It's a real thing that you have, that you experience, that you know you can hold, and the problem is maintaining it. And so Buddhism is a way to chip away at the things that get in the way of us seeing our fundamental joy. It's there. I can tell you after 40 years of practice, it's definitely there. We just got a lot of mud on the windshield. We got a lot of stuff to clear away. A lot of it is a matter of understanding, and can't overstate that enough. Once you understand a problem, it ceases to be a problem, right? We learn that in school, we learn that at home, we learn that in life. We have major problems that we think are earth-shattering, especially when we're young. Seems like the end of the world. And then suddenly something occurs and we learn something, everything changes. And now that if somebody brings up the problem, we're like, what? That's gone. That's not a problem. But not so long ago, our whole life depended on resolving it. And that's just life, my friends. So I strongly urge you to learn more about Buddhism, because it'll bring you to your happiness. It may do it quickly, it may do it in chunks, it may do it from time to time, but it works. It's a system of analyzing the way we think and the way we create our own obstacles. I know it doesn't always seem that way, but remember, life doesn't happen to us. It happens for us. And that's the beginning of thinking differently. So, thanks for listening. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo.